All right. Hi there, everyone. Welcome to a little question and answer live stream. I'm actually going to have this one last on my channel, go into a VOD after the fact, so it'll be a little bit more polished, I hope. If you're watching this, like you just clicked on a video on my channel, hi, this was recorded live, but it'll still be a normal Q&A session. If you're tuning into this live, hi. I'm glad you could make it live. As such, though, because I want it to be a little bit more polished, it means I'm disabling the super chat and the sponsor notifications. And if you do feel like leaving a super chat, I will read those, but I'd recommend that you leave a question along with it because it's going to be a Q&A live stream. So that's kind of the point of the whole thing. So with that said, if you have any questions you feel like leaving, the chat's moving real quickly, so you can try to ask a question in there. I'll see if I can catch it. But as soon as some super chats come in, that'll be a little bit easier to focus on. So I'll check into those as long as they have a question. But welcome. Haven't done one of these in a while, at least not to VOD format. So I figured we'd do that. Also, before we get into the questions, just a little thing to note is that we're having a little t-shirt sale this week. If you're interested in any t-shirts, if you enjoy clothing, if you like to not walk around naked, then I should have actually worn one. I have it in my drawer, but I'm wearing my blank black t-shirt. Anyway, links below in the description. If you feel like going over, you just click the link and it's all 15% off by default. So yeah, that's basically what's going down. Just do a little shameless plug before we get into things. Anyway, we got a little super chat question here anyway that we can jump into. So Hamilton Webster asks, whatever happened to the series with Waglington, the zombie survival Minecraft? That's a very good question. And admittedly, I dropped the ball on that one. I'll be honest. It was quite a big undertaking to continue the storyline, the builds, that sort of stuff. And I guess it got to the point where the interest was just not quite up to the extent of like justifying continuing. And I know that it's a bit of a shame because people like The Odd Ones Out, James, he called that out in the video once. He's like, where's the next episode of that? And I was like, shoot. So I know there were some people who were into that series. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's a series that I did. How long ago was it? A couple of years ago, maybe. A few episodes of a role play thing with Waglington for a zombie apocalypse survival thing. So anyway, that's that. It's a good question, though, and I apologize that I did, in fact, drop the ball on that one. Next up on the agenda, we have a redacted message. ChanMan1400 asks, what's the best tip for producing music? I feel like I'm not really in the best position to be able to give producing advice because I still consider myself very much a beginner. So I don't have great advice for that, honestly. I guess just make sure that what you are putting into the piano roll sounds good, that it's all in the same key, and that'll help you out, making sure that all your notes are in the same key. For me, it's pretty easy to hear when things sound good together, and so that comes pretty naturally, but I suppose that's not always the case for everyone. So studying a little bit of theory as to what the scales are and chord progressions, what sounds good together could also be helpful. Admittedly, I haven't done much of that myself, but I have a little bit of practice in guitar growing up, so that might help a little bit. I wish I had learned piano, though. So best tip for producing music, take piano lessons, probably. I don't follow my own advice, but that would be very helpful. Let's see. Scott Logan asks, how do you like your steak cooked? Well, let me tell you, medium rare is where it's at. No ifs, ands, or buts. Carl asks, let's see, that is not a question, but I appreciate the contribution. Cream Sleaze asks, do you like milkshakes? It's a fantastic, in-depth, hard-hitting, detailed question. And the answer is a resounding yes, but I don't have them very frequently because a regular-sized milkshake, let's say it's like a 20-ounce milkshake, that's probably like 600 calories. So life's rough. That's more calories than most meals should be if you're eating lean. So milkshakes don't happen very often anymore because I try to stay on the healthy grind, although I am going to go to Korean barbecue tonight, it looks like, and that means I'm going to eat a lot. But it is just straight up protein in fairness, so it could be a lot worse, although there will be some soju, some height to go along with it, so not the healthiest. But I am at like 650 calories for the day so far, so I've got plenty of overhead remaining. I just went into too much diet and nutrition talk for that one. I like milkshakes. I do. Let's see. Riley Jetson asks, what was the most sneaky thing you ever did as a child? And what will finally break the internet? I don't know about that second part. I'm not technically advanced enough, but the sneakiest thing I ever did as a kid? Ooh, that's a tough one to think of. I feel like I probably snuck candy at a few points, but honestly, I was not a very mischievous child. I was just very straightforward, to the point. Never got into trouble, really. And so nothing even really comes to mind as far as me doing things that I shouldn't have done. So I know it's not the most exciting answer to the question, but it's the truth. So let's see. Would you rather know how you die or when you will die? Definitely the how. Because if I knew when I would die, then I'd be trying to like figure out how exactly to avoid it. Or maybe it'd just be like, you're going to die of heart disease or something. I'll be like, all right, cool. I'm going to make it hopefully quite a long time. I'm not anticipating that being an issue anytime soon. But if it was I guess at the same time, if it was when I would die, it could go either way. I'm almost reconsidering my answer, because it was when I would die, and they said, oh, you'll be like 85, 90. I'd be like, cool. And on the other hand, if you gave me a how I would die and it was in like a car accident, then every time I get into a car, I'd be freaking out. So that is tough. Ooh. Yeah, I'm reconsidering actually to when I would die. It's a when, because otherwise it's too up in the air. I'm freaking out every time I get in a car or an airplane. Like, is this the one that kills me? I don't know. So yeah, never mind. I changed my mind. When, not how. To Gamer Channel asks, would you ever like to go to Japan? Absolutely. At some point in my life, I'd love to go. I wonder if you're asking because Tom's been vlogging from there. And I was actually planning on going last year. It didn't pan out. I'm sure I'll end up going at some point. I have no doubt, unless, I die before then. The how I die is on a plane to Japan. Woo, let's hope that's not the case. But I will definitely end up there at some point. Let's see. Ollie asks, what software would you recommend for basic editing and tweaking? Also, is Mionite coming back? So for basic editing, I honestly, like, you can get away with the default program, like an iMovie almost works for the basics, because that's what I started with when I was first making Call of Duty videos way back when. But if you want to get a little bit more up into the next tier, Adobe Premiere seems to sort of be the go-to for most people, so that's what I'd recommend. And is Mionite coming back soon? Have I actually ever said this in a VOD? I've said it in live streams. I hope this isn't the first I'm mentioning, but no, it's not going to be a thing. Don't shoot me, the messenger, okay? It's not up to me. But no, a lot of people ask that. Let's see. Eric R. asks, if you got to eat with one person, just go out to like a meal with them, dead or alive. So anyone in history, who would I want to go grab a bite to eat with? Probably like a Leonardo da Vinci or Ben Franklin, one of those kind of people, an intellectual of old times. That'd be pretty cool, I think, because just to see how they arrived at some of the conclusions that they arrived at way back when, before technology was a big thing, would be kind of gnarly. And then also, if I got to show them some modern technology, where the world has gotten to, like show them a cell phone, I feel like it'd be constructive both ways. That we could teach each other things and it'd be really cool. So yeah, either like Ben Franklin or Leonardo da Vinci. We'll go with that. Let's see. Joe Dyslin asks, do you like pineapple on pizza? I don't know why this became like such a meme lately, because pineapple on pizza has existed forever. But it seems like it resurged in popularity as far as people discussing it. I have no problem with pineapple on pizza. I never seek out and order it. I always go pepperoni. But if there is a pineapple pizza in front of me, I will consume it, because pizza is goddamn delicious. And it never won't be delicious. I'm sorry. It's just always good. So fight me, mate. Let's see. Lennox says, how do you feel about me having red CS letters, my logo, as a small part of a larger YouTuber tattoo? I grew up watching your videos, and you really shaped my humor, so I thought it was good. Ultimately, that is your decision. I am very candid in saying that I'm someone who will never get a tattoo, and so therefore, I never advocate for it, but it is a very personal decision. So if you feel that it works for you and it is part of an overall thing with lots of other YouTubers and stuff, it is up to you. I don't want to advocate for it and then have you regret it. And I don't want to say negative things about it and then have you second guess yourself. So it's not really up to me. It's just, but again, like my personal standing is I will never get a tattoo is all. So that's, I guess, the best way I can answer that. But thank you for watching for such a long time. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I can keep making stuff you'll want to see in the future. Let's see. Mackie, thanks for the contribution. There's no question. Cody Davis. I feel like I've gotten this question from you a few times before, but have you looked into Space Engineer yet? I have not, admittedly. But maybe one day. Gabe Cruz asks, when will you be coming to Utah to shred the Gnar? It's a good question. I had a little discussion, actually, the other day with my dad about this, and he's like, so do you think you're going to want to do Utah this Christmas break? And I was like, yeah, I think it's about time. I didn't even get a single day out last year, which is a real travesty. And so I think we're overdue for this year. Also, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Last time I went to Utah was before I got back into exercising, and I could feel how out of shape I was. And it was really bad. It was really, really bad. It was a combination of being out of shape and just like getting acclimated to a new altitude that is like I threw up for the first time ever on the ski lift after like a long run. And so never again. So I'm actually kind of excited to go again and not be out of shape and have some enjoyment. That should be fun, to not throw up and not get super tired. The only problem is that my feet have like this issue with boots where they just start hurting really badly. And so that's the one thing I'm not looking forward to. But anyway, it's a good question. Hopefully this coming December, I will shred the Gnar. Mr. Nom Noms, have you considered playing Divinity Original Sin 2? I have never heard of that in my entire life, so I can't say it has crossed my mind. Let's see. Daniel asks, I was wondering what your next Minecraft series is going to be. And if you can't answer that, then what's your favorite color? Next Minecraft series has not been planned because we just started the Skybounds thing, Zine and me, and I know grammar. So currently that's what's going on. Don't have anything planned beyond that. And then my favorite color is the absence of color. Black. As you can see, if only I can get my hands on some Vanta Black, then my life would be pretty swell. Just everything would look like a black hole. I would look like a floating head and floating forearms and hands and shoes with just a black hole for the rest of me. Let's see. Hold on. I'm getting a little bit behind here. Oh, my Lord. I'm getting real behind. Mr. Wolfdog asks, not really a question there, so but I appreciate the contribution. Let's see. Barrett Portal, what is your most favorite Valve game? And also Trollcraft Season 2 ? Favorite Valve game is probably Portal 2. Because Portal 2 is a fantastic game that's great. And if you haven't played it, you should play Portal, and then you should play Portal 2. But probably my favorite story-based game ever, single-player story mode. So yeah, and Trollcraft Season 2, no idea, not really up to me. But if everyone else ends up being up for it, then sure, might be a thing. But I don't want to make any promises. Rishab, let's see. Can you do a meet and greet in LA? I have nothing planned on the agenda, but if it happens, it happens. Hellman asks, when will you get good at Geoguessr? 20K is easy. Come on, man. Yeah, it's easy if you're not recording a video and you use Google to look up the intersections, pretty easy at that point. Roasted. Let's see. Obix says, do you spend more money on food or materialistic things? Probably materialistic things, because I would imagine if you add up the cost of the cars, it would be a lot greater than I've spent on food. But admittedly, I probably spend more on food than I should, but food brings me great enjoyment, so I don't regret it at all. If I'm being candid, I've said this in videos before, but I eat out every meal or get delivery every meal because here's the thing. I'm probably going to dig myself into a hole here, and people are going to be like, you the first world asshole. But here is the thing, okay? You're going to hate me for my justification on this, but it's like this, all right? If instead of spending time going to the grocery store, purchasing the food, trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the food as far as making a meal prepping, cooking, etc., if instead of spending my time doing that, I'm working instead, and I order food for delivery, and that's someone who spent their entire life devoted to making good food, I'm going to enjoy the food more from that person, and also I would imagine I'm going to be able to make up the cost for that order because I was working rather than spending my time preparing the food. Now, the calculation might not add up exactly, but that's my justification. Also, I just really like food and I'm lazy and don't want to make it. So there you go. You might hate me now, but that is my true answer justification when it comes to food. Let's see. Riley says, if you had to change your name, what would it be and why? I don't know. Actually, you know, when I was really young, like 3 years old, I watched Power Rangers all the time, and I really liked Jason. And so I think there was a time when I was like, man, it'd be really cool if my name was Jason. So, yeah, that would be it. But that satisfied the question. Not anymore, but there was a time. Devin asks, let's see, nothing. He didn't have a question, but thank you. Nerdy Blockhead, Pancake or Waffles? They're kind of the same. I'm probably going to offend someone in saying they're kind of the same, but they really are kind of the same. They're just pressed in a different... Waffles pressed, Pancakes just dripped into the pan. So I don't have much of an opinion on it, if I'm being completely honest with you. The taste is really... Once I chew it up, it's kind of the same thing, so I'm indifferent. Let's see. Peter Brockman asks, do you like American football? If so, what is your favorite team? I love sports ball. Watch all the sports ball. I love it when they kick the goals through the hoops in it. And no, I don't watch anything except the Super Bowl, because I'll watch things that are high stakes, but I don't follow anything, if I'm being completely honest. So, yep, I don't have a favorite team, unfortunately. Mackenzie asks, what's your backup plan if YouTube ever collapses? And hopefully that doesn't happen, you say. Well, thank you. I hope it doesn't happen either. But, worst case scenario, if everything I was working on currently fell apart, I'd travel a little bit, and then there'd be no super big hurry to find something that I had to do. I always want to be working on some projects, so I figured it out. I would work on music. I don't know if the question implies that everything I'm currently doing, including music, is not on the table anymore, in which case I don't know. I don't have an idea off the top of my head. There's some other companies that I could probably work for, but assuming you just mean this channel, CaptainSparklez, is no longer on the table, I'd probably focus on music. So yeah, see if I could build that with the additional time. Logan, thanks for the sponsor. Lennox asks, is this going to be a VOD? It is. That is the reason I have notifications disabled and am trying to be more polished on things. Let's see. Contagion. Do you use a channel mixer? If so, what kind? I do have a mixer. It's called a Line 6 UX2, and that's what my microphone is plugged into via XLR. It goes out to my studio monitors as well. And I could also integrate my headphones into it so that I would get playback so I could hear my voice, but that's always been weird to me. I don't like hearing my voice back through my headphones. It's helpful when you're applying effects so you can see how you sound, but I don't do that enough to justify it, and otherwise it's like hearing a voice doubler, and I just like, I don't like it. So, yeah, anyway. Evercrush, Harry Potter or Harry Potter? I don't get it. Harry Potter. I do love me some Harry Potter, if I'm being completely honest. Let's see. Joe, you wanted me to say your name 3 times. Joe. Rashab asked again. Meet and greet in LA. I have no plans, but maybe at some point. Logan, would you ever visit the East Coast, Virginia, perchance? A lot of questions about visiting particular places. I've been to Virginia. Let's see. When was the last time I was there? When I was in like 5th or 6th grade, somewhere in that ballpark. No plans at the moment. If an event ever brought me out there, then perhaps, if the music thing ever got to the point where I was doing tours with it, then I'm sure I'd hit up lots and lots of places. So that's probably the best way to count on me actually making it out to a bunch of the places. If you're someone who wants me out there, it'd probably be because music takes off or something, in which case, well, hopefully you're over 18 or 21, because that's what most of those venues are. Yeah. But that's, yep. Anyway, let's see. Profits Given asks, what branch of the military would I join? Because you'll be joining the Navy soon. I have no idea. I couldn't possibly give you an answer to that because it's not something I've looked into. I appreciate your future service in advance. But yeah, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Yeah, can't even give you a good answer. But yeah, best of luck to you. Nerdy Blockhead asks the pancake or waffle question again, which I answered already. Let's see. Sergeant Panda, I appreciate the contribution. It's there you go. Jet Tucker. It's not a question. That's a repeat. Hold on. Oh, people are just so you know, people in Super Chat, this is more aimed towards the live audience. There are a lot of things, and so I got behind on it, so you don't need to ask it again. I'll get to it at some point. So we're getting some repeats here. Let's see. Hellman, who asked about Geoguessr earlier, says you should become a geography major and know where everything is. Okay, well, I'm not. I dropped out of college. So saying 20K is easy and then saying, oh, by the way, I'm a geography major, you're just going for the bragging. You're being braggadocious. Congratulations on your 20K easy mode. Not all of us are that intelligent. What can I say? Emily asks, how can you eat takeout and still look ripped? Because, well, at least here in LA, there are very, 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 very ample options when it comes to healthy food restaurants. So basically, after I'm done at the gym, there's this health food salad bar place that's like right across the way. It opened very recently. And I used to go to another place before that. I get salad after the gym. Now I go to this place, and it literally on the menu it lists 420 calories. 420. But it says 420 calories for the salad that I get. And it's just it's called a kale Caesar. It has chicken, kale, tomatoes, some lettuce, and a few cheese flakes, but I go light on the cheese flakes and the dressing in order to keep the calories low. So just because you're eating out doesn't mean it has to be super heavy calorie. A lot of places, yes, if you get like an average salad at many, many normal restaurants, like a Cheesecake Factory or a California Pizza Kitchen, those kind of places, yeah, it's going to be like 1,000+ calories for a salad. But there are more smaller, health-oriented places where you can eat very lean, even though you're eating out. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. So I usually do that after the gym, which for breakfast, I'll do a little bit of fruit. It's about 50 to 100 calories, plus the 420 calorie salad brings me to about 500 to 600 calories. Then for dinner, I'll go a little bit bigger. I estimate to be about 1,000 calories, so that brings me up to like 1,500 to 1,600. I might have one little sweet thing that could be like a couple hundred calories, but still it affords me the ability to stay around 2,000 a day, not too difficult. And at my weight, I burn far more than that. So it's kept me at a decent equilibrium. So yeah, it's all about, honestly, when it comes to how you look, it's just about calories and getting enough protein for the most part. if you're aiming to be healthy, then there's a lot more things to consider. But really, as long as you have more calories going out than calories going in, it's not difficult to stay at least physically looking fine. So that's all. I've thought about actually going into a more detailed video on the vlog channel as far as fitness and diet and that sort of thing. I might do it at some point. But I feel like a lot of people, and me in the beginning as well, kind of overanalyze. But diet is by far the most important thing when it comes to how you look. You can exercise, but you can also get back all those calories and still gain weight just by eating a slice of pizza afterwards. So, diet's by far the most important thing. Anyway, Mackenzie asks, that was a repeat of the question. You don't need to, I will get to your thing. You don't need to re-ask it again. Let's see. Caleb asks more of the burning down your house / cooking videos. Definitely going to do some more of those in the future. Those are fun to do. I don't have any planned right now, but there are a lot of options when it comes to food. Those have been the only times I've actually ever used my kitchen. Funny enough. And there will be more of them. We'll see if Blue Apron wants to sponsor anymore or not. Who knows? But that was the perfect format because they show you just the list of ingredients and the picture of what it should look like, which just goes along so perfectly with the format for those things. Anyway, let's see. Dark Force asks, very deep question here. What is the full truth, as opposed to the half truth, on why you don't get into a relationship or why you believe you will never propose? I have nothing against getting into a relationship. That's no problem. I've been in relationships before. I just don't make that public because it's just kind of a general rule for me that I've seen too many other examples of just like if you're in a relationship with someone and they're integrated into your videos quite regularly as like, this is my girlfriend, I'm doing things with my girlfriend, right? Then when there's a separation, it's awkward, right? You have all this content backlogged historically that's with that significant other, and it's all titled such and such with my girlfriend, and now you're no longer together. And then you have another person that you end up in a relationship with. They see all that content. That's a little bit weird. Then you bring them in again, and it's like, here, audience, it's like having a new parent or something. And it's always struck me as a little bit weird. So I keep them totally separate. And that's why although I've had relationships, I don't bring it in. Now, granted, something significant ever happened to where there was like marriage or something along those lines, then yes, obviously it gets to a point where you can't avoid addressing it on social media. But at least before that point, it's something that I keep totally separate. So in any case, the second part, why do I believe that I will never propose? It's a more detailed answer. And I feel like if I went into full details, I'd probably throw off some people with, because marriage is very much a thing that is drilled into you as a step that you take in life from like when you're born. It's like, you're going to do this at some point. And so therefore giving justification as to why I wouldn't do that it's a hard conversation to necessarily have people adopt the viewpoint of or understand the viewpoint of in the first go. But it's just, I am not a huge advocate for it on my end. I guess I don't view it as entirely necessary. And therefore, I don't think I would ever be the one to initiate a proposal conversation is all. If I was with someone and that was like a big thing for them, which would probably be like clarified way up front, then sure, I'm not going to tank a great relationship over that point. But it's just not something that I think is crucial. So, Leonardo Dicaprio, you my boy. How old is he? He's in his 40s, and I don't think he's ever been married. He has no kids. My role model right there. So anyway, that's that pretty much. Let's see. Bradford asks, have you seen it? If so, how did you like it? And no, I have not, but I will. I'll try to hit that up at some point. Let's see. Brick by Brick asks, you're very unbiased. I feel you try to take both sides a lot. That's because when it comes to topics where people have opinions. It's I don't like to. I try to avoid offending people, even if my opinions about various things are very, very strong. When it comes to the topics of like religion and politics and that sort of thing, I feel like basically nothing good comes out of making that sort of thing public when you have a YouTube channel that is not based around those topics. If your YouTube channel is based around religion and politics and having an opinion on that, then cool, that makes total sense. But if your main content has nothing to do with it, I feel like it's just not gonna be good. You're not gonna have much luck at convincing most people who are opposing you to adopt your viewpoint, and it'll be like more of an echo chamber for the people who agree with you. So I stay away with that, or stay away from that. And that's why I seem very unbiased most of the time, is because I just don't like to open up cans of worms if I can avoid it. That's basically it. Let's see. Lennox, do you like any types of flowers? Favorite food flavors? Favorite scents? It's a multiple of things. Are you asking me for relationship advice for what sort of flowers to get your significant other? Like any time, I like orchids actually. I don't know if I got that from my grandma. My grandma liked orchids a lot, but I think they're really cool. Let's see. Favorite food flavors? I love me some sushi. Love me some pizza. Favorite scents? I love the smell of pizza. Let's see. Prince Humperdinck. That's a heck of a name. I don't want to be rude, but when do you think your channel will die, and are you prepared for that? I don't know. I think there will always be some people watching. I don't know how long it will carry on, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully I'll be able to keep making content that people want to watch. If I think about, okay, when is my channel going to die? That's me saying that I have given up the hope that I can make compelling content, which seems like the wrong mentality. So, yeah. Let's see. Hamilton, why are you wearing headphones right now? Because I'm actually going to be recording after this, so I was in the mode. Sorry. I know it's weird and unnecessary. Here, take them off for you. Now you're like, oh God, he has ears. You're really weird. There you go. Have my ears. Cruz, thanks for the sponsor. Remy, do you own any stocks? Yes, I do have a stock portfolio, and I invest in things. Well, I don't. I have a financial manager who handles that because I feel like, again, someone spending their life doing something is going to have a better chance than I am. So, yeah, that's what's up. Jordan, will you ever do Roblox? That's a weird phrasing. Would you resort to Roblox if necessary? I don't know what that means. I don't think I'll be playing Roblox. I've never tried it, but yeah. Thank you for the contribution. Let's see. Hellman says this is the continuing the Geoguessr conversation. Wait, you haven't gotten over 20K and you're telling me it's easy? All right, you're not making any sense here. Barrett Portal, most famous person you've ever met. How do you quantify fame to where it's like, oh, this is the most famous person? Is it followers? Is it? I suppose it would be what percentage of the world would know who that person is, but there's no way to know that for sure. I don't know who the most famous person is that I've met. I honestly have no idea. And what is meeting someone? Is it like bumping into them, just making eye contact with them in public? Or is it like having a conversation? I honestly don't know. I'm trying to I just don't even like pay attention that much. I wish I had a better answer. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Well, Manticore plays with the Mayanite question, which is a no, as established before. Slamscape, there is no spider, but good try. Evercrush, favorite videos to make at the moment. You know, I actually really do enjoy doing the Reddit videos. I think they're fun because it's always like I get to actually see some cool, fresh content as I'm making it, and usually I enjoy it. And I've even gotten like, Nick has like sent me messages about things in the videos, like when I ask a stupid question about do dogs smile and that sort of thing, he'll like provide me with an answer, and I'm like, yeah, this is cool. I'm down with this. So I'm be honest with that. Finn Music, will you return to Canada soon? Visit Peterborough. I actually don't know where Peterborough is. I'll probably end up in Vancouver at some point, just because there is some music related stuff that goes on there, but I don't know when exactly. Lennox says, "Oh, your relationship with Alfredo as well." Yes, I do have a relationship with Alfredo from Sugar Pine 7. Shoot, you remember? Dang it, that was on their channel. You weren't supposed to see that. Let's see. Aggregation PvP says you had to see it before the next stream. Yes, I meant to do it, but I didn't do it. Now the spider is down by my feet. We're good so far. Let's see. Have you been to car meets? And Brock asks, have you ever been to car meets, and have you considered recording them on your car channel? Is it my car channel now instead of the vlogs and stuff channel? I guess there's a lot of car-oriented content on there. Yeah, I mean, I have been to a few of the Cars and Coffee things. There's one that's pretty close to my house, so I've been to that one. Yeah, but I haven't been to any that are further away. But I'll probably end up going to more in the future. Mr. Kukalabanza, what car do you want to buy next? The Ford GT. I've waited so long. I have waited so long to get Ford GT, and I want that car next, but I was supposed to put order in this month. I have not put order in yet. I have not heard anything. I do not know what to do with my life. I don't want to get it. But yeah, that's the next one. Zamali, what are your favorite game consoles besides on PC? I mean, the ones I've had are Dreamcast, GameCube, PS3, Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One. I guess the favorite of those was probably like GameCube. That's probably what I put the most hours into, and I don't really play on consoles anymore. So probably GameCube. That was fun times. Let's see. Hellman has gotten to 18K on Geoguessr. All right. Stephanie Andrews asked the Trollcraft Mionite question, which I have addressed previously. Trollcraft, I don't know. Mionite is a no. Let's see. Dave Plays, do you have any intention to connect with small channels to help them grow? YouTube is so crowded now, it's hard to break the 1,000 barrier. At this point, if I'm being completely candid, I generally have stuck to either myself or kind of the crowd of people who I know when it comes to collaborating. It's difficult to expand because part of, like, at this point, what I want to be sure of is that anyone I'm collaborating with is like a person who is trustworthy enough that I feel like they're a good representation of what I would want to promote, and that they're not going to get themselves into trouble down the road, and that I would never get to a point of like regretting having worked with them previously. And then simply the point of, like, there are so many people out there that it's really difficult to say, yes, I'll work with you and not you, and why is that? So it's easier just to stick to your circle. I know that's not the answer you would hope to hear, but my best bit of advice is just to find people who, whether you're friends with them in real life or you meet them naturally through making YouTube videos or going to live events, things like that, just think people you can build a rapport with rather than just working with someone for the sake of getting subscribers. I feel like building quality content with other people is a better approach. So that's my answer there. Let's see. Link Summers Perry asks, do you never play games that you don't record? How do you go about finding new games to record? I have answered that in a previous vlog where, I have not usually been playing games when I'm not recording, if I'm being completely candid. So, but that's the whole thing about trying to stream more often, do like the PUBG, the Call of Duty, things like that. I do want to. I just have this nasty habit of feeling like I need to be productive. So, yeah. All right. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to scroll down. This is for the live people. I'm going to scroll down to the last thing on Super Chat. I am going to read that, work my way back up, and then I'm going to wrap up the stream. So I appreciate the questions so far. And the line cap has been implemented, and we'll get through the last few here before winding it down. Self-referential asks, why do you only censor the F word? I don't actually censor it. I just don't say it myself. Unless you're referring to, like, in the Reddit videos when I say fork. It's just because it's been something I've never really said very regularly, and it's happened before, but it's just like there's no need to go out of my way to say it. But if other people say it, then yeah, I don't censor it. It's able to be said, and that's that really. I say it plenty in real life. I can switch on to a different mode when I'm like recording my videos or with family and things like that. Evercrush, how do you avoid speeding tickets on Sunday drives? By not exceeding the speed limit? Jello Girl asks, have you ever played Kingdom Hearts? And if not, what was your favorite childhood game? Also, if you could pick an instrument to master in a month, what would it be? Piano, absolutely, on the instrument thing. I haven't actually played Kingdom Hearts, and I feel like that's going to upset a lot of people. My favorite childhood game, though, definitely the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater series for sure. Absolutely. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was my lifeblood growing up. Foxy on Crest, do you know of any time you'll be visiting the Midwest? I am not sure. I don't have any time planned. Maybe if a music tour brings me there in many, many years after I've established that sort of thing. Slamscape, any weird stories about your house yet? Haunted. You know, I get really paranoid when I hear sounds outside, like water-related sounds, because there are sprinklers that go off on my neighbor's property, but it's very hard to tell if it's my property or my neighbor's. So I always think there's some terrible water leak happening. Then I'm like, oh, it's just their sprinklers, but their sprinklers will be hitting something. It'll make a weird sound. And so I'm just like super paranoid. And I always have to go outside and just make sure that there's no terrible leaks is all. So yeah, but no, nothing haunted, nothing like that. And yeah, okay, so last two here before we wind down. Will you ever record Skybounds with Agent Canadian? I don't know. The series is currently me and Zine, but maybe Mitch will make a guest appearance at some point. We haven't discussed it, but perhaps. We'll see. Wouldn't rule it out. And Aggregation PvP, Melbourne, Australia trip. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe for music at some point. Kyle, thanks for the sponsor. Or Kyler, sorry, my bad. So anyway, that's about it for this this Q&A stream. Hopefully you've enjoyed. And once again, a little reminder, if you do want the 15% off of the shirts and stuff, that's linked in the description. All you got to do is click the link, and it should automatically input the code. So you'll be good to go. And yeah, thanks so much for coming out. Hopefully I gave some meaningful answers to things and that you enjoyed and all that stuff. Make sure to like if you liked and subscribe if you're not already and do all that stuff. And yeah, if you just tuned in, this will go back into a VOD that'll exist on the channel. So you can always scrub back once that's happened and watch anything you might have missed. So that's it for now. Thanks so much. And I am actually going to go get some vids recorded. So I will catch you all later.